Welcome to Verbal Pig Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you to the show. Subscribe. Check us out at www.youtube.com/verbal pig radio. Tell your friends to tune in because we have to go after this thing after the Trump inauguration, after his first and second day of office. The surprising thing about the whole event that took place, January 20th, 2017 protest, was the fact that a lot of white people protested Donald Trump. And it wasn't on the behalf of, really be honest with you, I mean from my humble opinion, it wasn't coming from the aspect of racism or the LGBT community and actually what Trump said about women. No. They sense and they smell a king rulership that's being put into place. And they're not with that because they understood the hell that they went through with Britain, with the British, and trying to be controlled. And that's what the whole British war conflict was about between the Brits and the Americans. The Queen opened up her prisons after Columbus arrived in America, because the people were here, so it was already discovered. But we're just looking at this thing from a Eurocentric mindset. After Pope Innocent the Sixth, Pope Innocent the Sixth or the Eighth, after he gave the decree to Ferdinand and Isabella that wherever you find indigenous people, you have the Pope's authority to take the land. So, they're traveling under the decree of a Pope to take land from indigenous people, to set up the rule or more territory, more land for the Queen. But when the prisoners got over here after Columbus and started building up America, they said, well, why should I give all this gold and wealth to the Queen when I can set up wealth and trade with the Moors, Morocco, and different nations and build my own wealth? And they said, yeah, that's what we're going to do. And the Queen was like, okay, well, that's fine. Well, just pay me a tax on whatever. Or it was a tax due to the amount of money that was put up for the voyage or whatnot. But, okay. So, they're paying the Queen taxes. At the time, you got to remember, tea was like weed. Tea was like marijuana back then. They sip their tea because it's raw tea, get that buzz, and start writing legislations and carving out how they wanted to shape America. So how they did that. And then after that point, they stopped paying. The Queen sent her troops after her money. The fight ensued. And America got its independence. And what people are saying is Trump is trying to take it back to those type days, to where they had the king and queen rulership, where you had the noblemen, the serfs, the court justice, and the slaves. See, white people understand that. They know where it's headed. And some don't. Now, some like this freedom that they share right now, but some doesn't mind going back to a monarchy system or king and queen rule, as long as they stay above black people. That's their measuring. That's their yardstick. Their measuring stick. I might be poor, and this is what some whites are saying. I might don't have anything. Matter of fact, I might don't own a pair of shoes. My teeth, all of them, has fallen out. But my only thing that I can hold claim to is I'm better than the black man. In their mind, that's a victory. But it's ignorance, because you're not dealing with mathematics. You're not dealing with reason. You're not dealing with what is. You can't put a canopy over all black people and over creation. It doesn't work like that, because what is it called? It's called force and power. Comes through knowledge and understanding. So if you don't have force and power, you're not creating things or calling things into existence. You just really an insane person who took some minuscule difference and made it larger or bigger than what it is. Even going back to Dylan Root. See, Dylan Root was like, nah, I'm not sorry for killing 9 black churchgoers inside of their place of worship. He said, I'm not insane. I don't want to plead insanity. You know, he was like, because he showed something. He didn't hide. He said he's a devout racist. And he raised millions for his defense, that as it was reported. He said he meant to do what he did. He don't have any remorse, you know, because he's looking at it like, look, all my life I've been taught, and I wrote about this in the book Consequence by Vince Cole Muhammad, and he's saying that all my life I've seen white people been lifted up as superior. I've been told that it's good because it's white. I've been told to eat white angel food cake. I've been told that black people are just horrible. I've been told that white people discovered America. I've been told and when I say I'm talking about Dylan Root speaking on his actions. He's been told that white people were the creator of civilization. He's been told that Jesus was white. Now he's getting older and he's realizing a lot of these were falsehoods. A lot of this was lies. And he didn't have let's say he wasn't in a position to experience a lot of things that he may have seen on television dealing with his other white counterparts. He didn't live like they lived. So he had to have direct contact with black people. And he had to make his assessment. Man, wait a minute. In class, here's a black person that scored higher than me. He's saying he's getting out for help from other whites. Look, man, y'all poor. I mean, I'm fighting as hard as I can, but I'm getting my ass whooped. He's saying, man, they scoring higher than me in class. Some running is faster than I am, stronger than I am. Man, his mindset is, how am I living, or how can I go on when I would have to, or he said, how can I make these falsehoods that was preached to me all of my life, how can I make them true? He's searching, trying to find a way, and he comes to the conclusion there's no way to change this thing. He's been lied to. Then he comes to the realization, the reason why he was lied to. And that was enough to do it. Went in there, took his anger and frustration out, and it did flip. It didn't matter what their religion was. It could have been any church. That's just the one he chose. He just looked for black people. And black people have to stop being so, how can I say, disillusioned with this, we shall overcome, I have a dream. One day we are going to hold hands. You have to love the hate out of the people that hate you. Because the people that hate you, they operate on a higher understanding for themselves. They're not hating you solely just because you're black. But they are hating you solely just because you're black. Because you are an opposite. You're not white. You're the yin and the yang. And in order for them to rule in their mind, they feel as though that they have to rule in a manner that would keep one group oppressed, because they don't want the chance of their rule being challenged and then being outsmarted or defeated. And part two of that is the competition that they have amongst themselves, meaning nation against nation, meaning America against Europe, America and France, America and Britain. They have to outdo each other. And if they have to use their or have slaves in order to outdo, or I tell you what, take a look at the movie Hidden Figures. In Hidden Figures, the main goal was to put a man on the moon before the Russians. The Russians beat them to put the man in outer space, but America had to, in order to defeat their Russian brethren, because they were brethren. The Germans were their brethren. Some of the Russians, and the reason why I say that is because during World War II, they let the white Russians sit in the mess hall and eat amongst them, but the blacks who fought on America's side was refused to sit and eat in the mess hall with all other soldiers. They had to go out back. So they are brothers in competition, but they would do anything to stay on top. So there, in the movie Hidden Figures, he didn't hide using that sister's knowledge to get John Glenn on the moon. But if you notice, they wasn't going to make it obvious and publicly known to the rest of the world. The only reason we made it to the moon is by this black lady. He wasn't going to do that. Now, they kept that hidden for years. You may ask, why is it coming out now? Well, because the makeup of America is changing now. You have more minorities that's present than what you had back in those days. So it's what's going to take now, true, all of blacks, or what they call Americans, or what the people, let's say the people. It's going to take all the people in order to pull this thing off. White people can't do it alone. They can't do it by themselves. But you have some hardliners who refuse to accept reality. And that's where the problem lies. And that's where people are trying to see where Trump stands. Is he one of those hardliners who's going to try to bring in a monarchy, king and queen rulership, and make the whole world bow down in order to place white back on top again? Only time will tell. You have been listening to VPR Radio, and we're out.